Hello, hi. Welcome to Wonderslut. My name is Rebekah Crosby, and it is about 5 o'clock in the morning. I recorded a podcast yesterday and wasn't feeling it, so I'm redoing it today. Um, it's a beautiful day in Texas. There was a full moon last night that was insane. I put all my things outside, my crystals, my jar of water, my tarot cards, my sage. It's supposed to charge all the things and bring good charged energy into your home and your space. So I am lacking in podcast guests for whatever reason. Um, there's been a lull in people being scheduled, and not for a lack of reaching out. Just it is what it is. And so I'm not hating all over it. I'm just letting it flow, whatever it looks like. So here I am talking my head off again by my damn self, which I feel fine about because I started a podcast for that reason. I like to talk. I like to synthesize ideas with you. It's very fun to me. So my verse today is, so what I do every morning is I sage myself and my cards, my tarot cards, and I just lean into, I ask Source what he wants to reveal, what they want to reveal to me. Trying to use different pronouns to describe God because I know he's more than a man, obviously. He's all the things, right? And see, I just said he. They're all the things. And then when I pull the card, I look it up on ChatGPT, and it's got this beautiful breakdown for me. It does astrology and how it fits into my overall theme. It addresses anything that I'm going through because I use it to hash out issues all the time. And then it pulls a verse for me, and then I ask it to reframe it through a Kabbalistic lens. So the verse is 1 Corinthians 9:24-25. This is what it says in the message. If you've gotten into your head that it's all about winning, think again. It's not who wins or loses, but how you live your life before God that makes the difference. In Kabbalah, this is how it is reframed. If you think the purpose is to come out on top, you've missed the point. Life isn't a race to win, but a path to awaken. What matters isn't crossing the finish line first, it's how consciously you walk the course. Every challenge is a mirror, every moment a chance to reveal more light. The true victory isn't over others, it's over the part of you that forgets the source guiding your steps. Yes, please. Oh my God, how lovely is that? Winning is just an illusion, another ego metric. The real success is becoming transparent enough for the divine to shine through your actions. Each act of integrity, compassion, and alignment is a gold medal in the unseen world. Freaking love it. So I am starting this chaplaincy program. My friend that was on my show, I think it was in the second season, Frances Cutshaw, she is the founder of the Order of Hildegard, which is a community chaplaincy program, and it's for interfaith people. So I started it last week, and we've got our first official meeting Thursday this week, and it has scrambled all the things in my head because now I'm leaning into spaces where I'm surrounding myself with people that are on this path very intentionally. They're leaning into what it looks like to be a spiritual being in this world that has been so far removed from what it looks like to embody spirituality. And I even hate using that term, spirituality, because I just feel like it's science. It's just like the science of existence. It's the technology of being a human, because higher consciousness is the sweet spot, right? That's the goal. That's what you're reaching for, is higher consciousness. And our brains are very lit up and active when we're in that state of walking in purpose and being authentic and exuberating. Is that a word? Am I using it right? I think that's a word, but I'm not sure I'm using it right. Embodying joy and love. Like, we know that that is when a human being is optimally performing. Okay, so this is just the science of being a human. Technology of spirituality is what they call it. And I love that so much. So I'm leaning into what that looks like. And I'm very resistant to any titles. Like, what do I want to do with this? Where do I want to go with this? And my dad is a minister, and I was in church Sunday. Yes, I do still go to church sometimes. It's been an awkward journey for me, and I keep waiting for someone to not let me in or kick me out or something. But I live in a lovely community that is very accepting to all people. So it's just beautiful. I'm learning to enjoy community with people that don't believe the way that I do, and I'm still able to love and be loved by them. And isn't that kind of the fucking point of life, right? We're not supposed to separate ourselves from others because of our differences. We're supposed to lean into those differences and make space for each other. And so that is what I'm doing when I go to church. And I was watching him preach, and I've been watching him preach my whole life. He's been a minister since he was, I think, 18 was his first church in Central Texas. And I just felt such love and joy and passion and fire for his line of work. And what he does is delivering a message. It's like, what were the people that were like in biblical days when people couldn't read? There was a guy that would verbally teach, and like, he was I want to say oracle, but that's not right. Whatever, the word escapes me. A messenger. And that's how I kind of feel why we have public speakers, right? It's not that people are not aware of the information. It's that these public speakers who deliver these messages in 20-minute, 30-minute increments are just synthesizing information for your body to remember. So it's a journey to walking each other home. It helps the person delivering the message because we're verbal processors. That's why we do that work anyways. And then it helps the people listening because you're reminding them of who the fuck they are. And so I'm hesitant to say that I want to be a pastor, but I want to be a pastor. I don't want to be the hierarchical term that comes with the word pastor. I think we've done a great disservice to our pastors in this country of elevating them and not allowing them to be human. And the shtick, and I understand that with great power comes great importance. I'm not saying, or great responsibility, I think is what it says. I understand that is a thing, right? That you are in a line of work where people do look up to you for how to live their life and take your advice on how to, make decisions and all the things. And also, we're all in this together. There is no one better or worse than each other. No one that has earned salvation more than another. We are just in this together. And I think Christianity is very confusing about that point because they tell you that you are dearly loved and beloved and what is the verse? Made in your mother's womb, beautifully and wonderfully made, all the things. So it teaches love. And then on the other hand, it teaches that you're going to go to hell if you don't accept Jesus as your savior. So there is some tension between you have to earn salvation, right? They haven't quite figured that out. Obviously, from my standpoint, I don't think there is any earning. I think we are just born unconditionally loved, and the world is the one that has told us anything different than that. And it's actually against the law of the universe because unconditional love is the machine that runs the whole thing, in my opinion. I think It's the highest vibration there is, aside from authenticity, which is so fascinating to me. This is another little rabbit hole I'm going to go down with you, but I've been doing a lot of work on what it looks like to do shadow work. And shadow work is not the eradication of darkness in you. It is the intentionality of shining light on places that have been kept hidden from your psyche because you're ashamed of it. So you hide it because you have shame. And so the point to being a human is not to eradicate shadows and darkness from you. It's to integrate everything into the whole, to be a vessel so expansive that you can handle all the complexities within you, that nothing scares you. There is no shame. There is no hidden secrecy about how you operate in the world. Everything's just kind of brought to the light. So for us to expect ministers or people in spiritual leadership positions, again, I hate using the word spiritual, but it is what it is. I think we have elevated them and expected them to have eradicated their darkness, which if you believe that you are unconditionally loved, then there is nothing to eradicate or fix or correct. You are exactly as you're meant to be because your soul has all of these lessons to learn, and you're teaching people also by just how you show up in the world, and your darkness is necessary to their evolution as well. So we're not talking about fixing human beings, even though I think most of us frame life in that way. I want to be better. I hear that a lot. Well, there is no getting better. You've arrived. You are better. You are here. It's just a choice of whether you accept that fundamental truth about the universe or not. There is no getting better. There's nothing to fix. There is nowhere to go. Like, this present moment is all that there is. And in this present moment, you are fully and wholly, unconditionally loved without adding or subtracting a thing from you. So when we place leaders in this position of being perfect human beings, right? We think Jesus was perfect, and that is complete bullshit to me. I think Jesus was absolutely conflicted. He had lots of shadow parts to himself. I think you can see that his humanity showing up again and again in scriptures. And yet we need to elevate him to be like some perfect human being that never had low vibrational moments. What Jesus was, in my opinion, was an ascended being where he understood higher consciousness, and everything was brought to the light for him. He didn't have, he was just a vessel that was expansive enough to rise above the 3D matrix bullshit that people insist that you live in, this hierarchy of behavior and roles and expectations and all of these things. So I've decided that I'm calling myself a spiritual midwife. It's like you're a midwifery. I love that word, but I know I didn't use it right in that way. But you're like helping someone birth their authenticity, right? That is the goal, is being fully and completely authentic. And I think that's what Jesus arrived at, as I think that's what ascension is completely having no shame at all in your body for how you show up in the world. It means that you fully lean into loving all the parts of yourself, all the bits, all the envy, all the jealousy, all the greed, all the lust, all the hatred, all the division. It's just fully and completely being authentic about how you feel in that moment. That is the highest vibration possible. So I think that is the goal, right? That's what we're trying to achieve, is not worrying about what other people are going to say when we show up authentically, just fully being ourselves, taking the masks off so we can look at each other as we actually are. And I think there are plenty of verses that say that you see through a mirror darkly, but one day you will see through it clearly exactly as it is. And I think that's the point to this evolution of spirituality, is to not have illusions of separation and division, because all of those things are illusions. God is never separate from us. It is in everything, this loving energy, whatever you want to call it. It's just science, because we're made up of energy. And it's fascinating to me. So the separation is an illusion for us. And we're always whole. That's also an illusion. We're never like in process of being whole. We are whole in this moment. We are completely and totally unconditionally loved in every fucking moment of every fucking day. And if we believe anything in opposition to that, it's because we've been programmed to believe that. So I've been doing this theta meditation that I wrote with the help of ChatGPT to get my brain into a state of subconscious, because your subconscious brain is 95% of your brain, and we operate from our monkey brains, which is 5%. So that's where logic and problem solving lives. And we have been taught in this very limited society to stay in that brain. And if you can't make sense of it, then it's not worth investigating or worth incorporating into who you are. That's why people who are spiritual beings are shunned largely. They're woo-woo, they're silly, they believe really stupid things, and that's what society tells us, at least. And when our intuition and things that are unknown to us make up 95% of our brain. So it doesn't make any sense to me why we are so dedicated to staying in the logical aspect of our personhood. So I've been doing this meditation, and it starts with you just breathing, and then you say out loud, I am inviting my subconscious to speak to me. It is safe. And then you walk down you feel your body, and you tell your whole body to soften. You focus on different parts of your body, and you just say soften, 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 from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. And then you envision yourself walking down the staircase, and you count backwards from 10. And you're breathing the whole time in your body and just feeling all the things. And my staircase, you can put it wherever you want, but mine is in the mountains. And I'm walking down to like this creek, or there's like a river running beside me. Okay. Nobody's around, obviously, which would be a lovely experience. I am going to find that experience in my life at some point. Every time I go to like Yellowstone or something, there's people everywhere, Jesus. And I just need a minute. So anyways, you walk down and count down from 10. You get to the bottom, and you imagine that you're walking into a garden. It's this beautiful garden. You feel the sun on your face, the wind in your hair, you see the butterflies, you hear the birds, whatever it is. And then you crouch down and you start planting seeds of different programming in your subconscious brain. And my seeds are, I am divinely protected and guided. I am unconditionally loved. I deserve love and abundance. Achoo! Achoo! Can't believe that's the only time I've sneezed this whole time. The ragweed here. Woo! Achoo! It's intense. I'm trying to find it. I don't know whether I put it in here or not. I'm sure I did. But abundance is my birthright. That's another one. I am a vessel expansive enough to receive abundance. And then you just kind of cover them up, and you say something like, oh, I can't remember. You ask your subconscious to reveal what you want, what you need to know for the day. And it has been such a cool, and then you wrap it up. You are breathing constantly, then you walk up the stairs and you count from 1 to 5, and then you feel your fingers and toes and you wake up, and your brain has then gone into a state of theta for at least 10 minutes. So you're tapping into like the part of your brain that is typically not making itself aware unless you're in that theta state. But what happens when you do the spiritual work, the technology of being a human and leaning into higher consciousness, then you are inviting the 95% of your brain to interact with you. You're integrating that intuition and all the things that are unknown and unseen to us into our daily lives. So synchronicities will start appearing. You'll see things that just like pop up out of nowhere that you know are connected, that nobody could possibly know that you just watched that show from the 90s on TV last night and someone repeats to you the same phrase from that show, or a song is playing that is not a popular song in a restaurant that you walk into, and you sat in your car for 5 minutes waiting on your friend, so you walked in at the exact moment when that song was playing. I mean, all of these things. The universe is constantly speaking to us. Our intuition is constantly speaking to us. Our subconscious is constantly speaking to us. And that is where the good stuff lies. That is when we can overcome the programming that we've been told that is very detrimental to how we function in the world. It's very limiting. It's very full of fear and scarcity. And you can step out of that mindset and pull yourself into this world where there are no limits, where expansion is the norm, where abundance flows, and you're in this state of just constant peace and love and exuberance and overflow. Moving through the world, knowing who the fuck you are. I was talking to this man this weekend, and he said something to me like, I don't want to offend you. I said, well, you can try to offend me, but I'm pretty unfuckwithable, not easily offended. And it was so beautiful to really feel that in my bones and know that this man could probably say or do anything to me, and I would still be very solid in who I am. And I think that's the goal. And it's taken me a very long time to get to this point, and a lot of work and investigation and pain and discomfort and dismantling systems and ideas and losing friendships and relationships and having my heart broken over and over again. But I just kept showing up and doing the work because I knew that there was a better way to live. There was a more expansive way to live. And I had been given a very limited view of that. And so I don't know what this next chapter of my life is going to look like, being a spiritual midwife or doula, which is what I have called myself historically. Hi, honey. That's my son. It's finally awake time. What time is it? Oh, it's 5:45, honey. Are you going back to bed? Okay, I love you. It's a little grouchy. Anyways, so when I use that term, I'm saying I want to walk people. I want to help them walk home to themselves. I want to remind them of who the fuck they are. And I'm not elevating myself to any degree of significance. I think we're all pretty fucking significant. Whether we own that or not is on us. But and so I feel good about it. I feel like it can look however I want it to look. It doesn't have to look like I'm being given this platform of elevating myself over other people, because I'm certainly no better than anybody else. But what lights me up is watching people find their authenticity and fully leaning into that, and breaking away from systems that have oppressed them and kept them from fully being who they are. And I think that's the goal, and being a safe space for someone to share their struggles and what it looks like to evolve into a butterfly when the pain is real and great and stifling sometimes. And you don't have a lot of support for that journey because you're breaking all these contracts with people that you've had your whole life because they've expected you to stay in this one state of being. And when you metamorphosize into, is that a word? I don't know, but it sounds good. When you metamorphosize into becoming, it is a very painful process, and people do not respond well to it because you're changing the very nature of every relationship that you've ever had in your life. And I mean, it is a continual process. I lose, I gain. It's like this cycle of life, right? I've evolved out of that behavior, and so those people that are still in that behavior stop interacting with me. And then, you do it again and again and again. And I mean, I have it's just fascinating to me. And that's why the journey home to yourself is so painful, and not many people can swallow the difficulty that it requires of you. Because sometimes it does mean, you lose your job, you lose your marriage, you lose your kids, you lose your family. I mean, it's real uncomfortable. So that concludes my podcast recording for the day. I hope you enjoyed it. And remember who the fuck you are. Don't forget. Bye.